intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
You know the saying, stay hungry, stay humble.
BoxingVoice.com.
I'm humble in defeat, and I'm going to remain humble in victory. This is it, right?
Deontay Productions.
I just wanted to put on a great boxing masterclass and also show the sweet science of this lovely sport. Man, the first time was so nice, I had to do it twice.
But I'm prepared to the best of my capability, and I pray that I get the win. Look at him, I love Mike Tyson, how he came into the game on some different kind of vibe. You know what I mean? It takes a crazy man to want to fight, you know what I mean, day in, day out. It's a hardcore sport, as you said, no silk shoes.
Ain't no other sight in the game can see the boxing voice.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs. Now, the rumor mill is in full effect. Randy Gordon, co-host, radio host of SiriusXM, the commissioner. He used to manage a couple of fighters. Randy Gordon is saying that he conducted an interview with Joe Goossen, and during that interview, Goossen insinuated, hinted at the fact that he may announce that he is Deontay Wilder's trainer tonight on the Fox telecast. That's the rumor. This is what's being said physically on Randy Gordon's Instagram or Twitter. Randy Gordon, at the commissioner, Randy G. He's a host of SiriusXM, Fight Nation. They got a daily show Monday through Friday. He's a blow-by-blow announcer on SSM radio. He's also a columnist for New York Night at the Fights. And he hosts his own podcast on his own called Randy's Ringside on Facebook. But he's the co-host of Friday Night Fights at the Fights with Randy Gordon and Jerry Cooney, the heavyweight. So, Randy conducted this interview with Joe Goossen, and he's got that feeling. You know, he tagged a bunch of media members, and he said, could this be what is going to be announced? And we're all over it. You already know. And I scheduled them for an interview. I'll tell you the truth. We are super late. But hopefully we could get him, right? No co-host at the moment. But we should get this thing going in a few. Hopefully we didn't miss our window and we can connect with him. Obviously, he being the one that conducted the interview, he knows better than us. And just waiting now. Sent the text, and sorry about that. I keep getting a call. I think Mario's trying to call me instead of jumping on Skype. And I got the commissioner texting me. So, man. Mario, just jump on whenever you're ready, brother. I'm really tied up right now. And it looks like Randy Gordon is available and should be calling in. Man, rough start, but this show should pick up because there's some interesting stuff that's being said. We want to know, obviously, your take, whether or not Deontay should join with Joe Goossen. What do you think about, the team up with Goossen? How do you think Wilder and Goossen would team up? I mean, Goossen coming out and saying that, or rather, Randy coming out saying, could Goossen announce it? So it'll be interesting. All right, I think we have Mr. Gordon on the line right now. Randy, how are you? Good afternoon. Thank you for taking out the time to come on the program. How are you?
Just fine. How are you, Nestor? I look forward to doing this.
Oh, man, I am definitely excited to have you, and I'm doing well, thank you. I know you're en route or should be going to the Barclays Center today, so we'll make this as quick as possible. Obviously, your interview with Joe Goossen has sent ripples through the internet. You tagged a few boxing experts with your recent tweet that you believe Joe Goossen may be announcing that he's Deontay Wilder's trainer this evening?
Yes, and I actually just put up the clip of it. It's up right now on the Sirius XM boxing page. It has Joe Goossen saying, and I have a big announcement for tomorrow. So I said, what is it, Joe? And he, well, I can't tell you. So Jerry Cooney and I looked at each other, and I'm like, oh, come on, Joe, you can't do that. You can't tease us with you got a big announcement and not tell us. Come on, just between us. And he laughed, knowing, of course, it wouldn't be just between us. So Jerry then said, and Jerry didn't actually, I think, catch on immediately. Well, maybe he did. But Jerry said, are you going to be training somebody? I mean, you have a young prospect, maybe a heavyweight or something like that. And then with that, Joe said, you know, Jerry, you're very astute. And as he said that, I said, come on, it is going to be a heavyweight. It's going to be Deontay Wilder, isn't it? And he said, you know, I can't really say, but because there are some things that I'm still tomorrow morning, meaning this morning, I have a meeting. Well, it all makes sense because in town is Jay Dees, the co-manager of Deontay Wilder. He's got a fighter on the card. So I believe he is actually staying at the same hotel as Joe Goossen, and I presume they were going to be having a meeting. Also in town, living in New York, is Shelley Finkel, the other co-manager of Deontay Wilder. I've got to figure that the three of them were meeting this morning, and then J.D. sent me a text, and he said, can I meet you at the hotel at around 10 o'clock in the morning, meaning this morning, which I would have loved to have done. But then, you know, after the meeting, then you got to hang around the city for 7 hours, around Brooklyn for 7 hours with nothing to do before the fight. So I said, you know what? I'll see you at the arena. And he said, good, I'll find you in the media section or in the press room, and we will talk. So my presumption, I think everything adds up to it looks like Joe Goossen is going to be the trainer of Deontay Wilder.
Now, what do you think he brings to the table? Obviously, you've been doing this longer than me. You've gotten to see Joe Goossen hands-on train dozens of fighters. What do you think he brings to the table? Because I will say it looks like George Foreman wanted to train Wilder, and you know, from what I'm being told, Wilder himself, he was entertaining the Foreman offer as well. So what do you think that Goossen brings that Foreman doesn't, or what do you think Goossen does, you know, better that Foreman couldn't?
Well, see, the thing is, I know that there are a lot of fighters who wanted to train, and ex-fighters who wanted to train Deontay Wilder. Buddy McGirt was one of them. George Foreman's another. Floyd Mayweather was another. Jerry Cooney wants, right as we speak, Jerry Cooney wants to be the trainer of Deontay Wilder. Guys like Foreman, who was a puncher, but also knew how to conserve energy and use his tremendous jab and his skills. I think he would have been a great trainer. I think Buddy McGirt would be a great trainer. I don't think Mayweather would have been a great trainer. Why? Because his style is completely different than anything Wilder brings into the ring. I mean, Mayweather is one of these guys, a great defensive fighter. What is he going to teach Deontay Wilder to do the shoulder roll? I don't think so. So Joe Goossen happens to be, in my opinion, one of the best technical trainers. You got to see this guy in the gym with his fighters. I have seen him work with guys like Diego Corrales and the Ruelas brothers and many, many others. I saw him take basically a finished Chris Areola and bring out the best of him last year. And Areola fought in his final fight in a losing decision to Adam Kovnowski back in August. It was one of the year's top heavyweight fights. And he brought out the best of him in just a few months of training. Now, you got to remember, a Wilder Fury third fight is only 4 months away. And they're going to have to work on things very, very quickly. Can Wilder learn all that he has to learn by July 18th? I can't answer that question.
Definitely. Well, Randy, man, obviously, thank you so much. I know you're going to be live at the fights, but you're going to lay your hat on Goossen. You believe that is the best fit for him out of all the names that have come out? Because like you said, we've even interviewed Buddy McGirt. He seemed interested and said he would do it. We had numerous trainers on that seem interested, but I mean, most notably George Foreman, Floyd Mayweather, now Joe Goossen. Wilder definitely having his pick from the litter, but do you feel that Goossen is the best match?
I really do, because the thing is, he's a disciplinarian. And I don't know what my friend Deontay Wilder really is like during the training. I've seen him training and so forth, and he works hard. There's no question about it. He never comes into the ring out of shape. But I don't know what kind of student he is, that if you tell him to step this way, throw the punch this way, right from here, bring it back here, step when you throw it. I don't know if he's one of these hard-headed students who feels, no, I'm going to do it my way. And I don't know if anybody, because apparently JD's has not been able to do it with him. Mark Breland, who we know and love, one of the great amateur records of all time, 110-1, Olympic gold medals and everything else, I don't know that he could do it. I don't know if Deontay listens to his trainers or just does what he wants to do. But with Joe Goossen, who's a disciplinarian, and he's a teacher, and he will not take any nonsense from Deontay, and he'll show him what to do. I think if Deontay can take what's coming to him, and that's an incredible 4 months of teaching and working out harder than he's ever worked before, then Goossen can work. But if Deontay wants to be his own man, let him select whoever he wants, because he's only got 4 months to go.
Obviously, the cliche in boxing is that one training camp with an elite trainer isn't enough to turn a fighter around. Do you think Goossen can do it in 4 months?
Personally, off 50 years in boxing, I don't think so. But, and the closest thing I could even come to him to is last June, Anthony Joshua lost big time to Andy Ruiz. Then they announced the fight, the rematch was going to be 6 months later. And I said, Anthony Joshua is not really going to have much time to prepare. Little did I realize how hard he was going to work. He really made no changes. He used to win as Team Joshua. He lost as Team Joshua. He accepted his loss. There were no excuses. Then he went out there, took a quick rest, and then got back in the gym, and maybe for the next 5 months, all he did was work out, restructure his body, and give himself a whole new fight plan. It was absolutely brilliant on the part of Anthony Joshua. Whether Deontay Wilder, who has to learn far more than Anthony Joshua did, Deontay has to learn how to throw the jab correctly, has to learn to throw combinations, work the body, hook off the jab. Can he do that in 4 months? I don't know how.
Interesting to see. I'm sure you'll bump into both Joe and Jay today, so we'll be glued to your social media to see if you update us with anything else. I'll definitely be playing the audio with you and Goossen and Jerry over the air. Want to thank you, obviously, for your time and coming on the program, giving us straight from the horse's mouth what it was that you heard and how you've gotten to this conclusion. Or we'll be waiting for this evening to see if Joe really announces this, or does he have another announcement that would have us all fooled?
Yeah, I mean, what could it possibly be? Is he going to have the headset on Fox, doing the announcing and say, oh, by the way, I have a major announcement. I'm going to be training 3-time national champion who's going to be turning pro, whatever. To me, that would be great, but it's not a major announcement. This is about as major announcement as I think there can be in boxing right now. Plus, all signs lead to that's what it is, because Deontay's looking for a trainer. Joe is available. JD's is there. Shelley Finkel's in town. They're going to be at the fights together. It just, all the pieces of this puzzle, and then with him saying what he said on the air and then almost wishing, oh, my God, I wish I didn't say that. Or maybe he said that to kind of put it out there like a little bait. I'm really looking forward to it. I have to believe, off what we heard last night, Joe Goossen is going to be named the new trainer of Deontay Wilder. And yes, I'll be on my Twitter all night at Commish Randy G.
Well, Randy, I want to thank you once again for your time. Thank you for coming on the program. You've just given your social media. You can reiterate it for anyone that didn't know that was it. And once again, man, thanks.
You got it. One more time. It's at Commish Randy G. We're leaving in just a little while for the Barclays Center. If you can't be there, turn on Fox, watch some decent fights. I think the Adam Kovnowski fight against Helenius is going to be bombs away, with Kovnowski winning inside of about 3-4 rounds. And then we're going to wait to hear the announcement from Joe Goossen, making it official that he will be the trainer of Deontay Wilder.
Definitely going to take the world back. Especially with Foreman coming out, Mayweather coming out. If he picks Goossen, that's going to be interesting to see the headlines. Once again, Randy, man, thank you for coming on. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Randy G, Randy Gordon, the commissioner, SiriusXM, host of his own show on Facebook, writer, columnist for Friday Night Fights, or Friday Night Fights. So just want to thank him for coming on the program and obviously updating us with what exactly transpired on SiriusXM and his show with Jerry Cooney. I do have that audio pulled up, and I was screen sharing with you guys just so that you can see. It's on the official SiriusXM Twitter page, and I'll go to this audio.
A surprise announcement to make tomorrow night.
Don't tell me you get married.
Oh, no, you got to break it here. Come on.
You know that's not going to happen, so sorry.
Maybe I could trick you into it.
I'm sure what it is you found the heavyweight. You found a nice heavyweight, you're training, and you're ready to break into the business.
You're going to train Deontay Wilder.
Jerry, see, like all great fighters, you have a great instinct. I'm not saying.
Okay.
All I know is this: is that look, I can't say because I'm still in a little bit of a I don't want to say negotiation, but we got a few bugs to work out, and that's going to happen tomorrow morning. And I think by tomorrow evening, I should know if it's locked up.
You want to know what I think he's going to be announcing? He said he has an announcement.
I think he has a heavyweight. He's got a heavyweight. I think he's broken into the heavyweight division.
Yeah, I think
everybody's looking for a heavyweight.
Okay. I think he's broken into the heavyweight division. He says he has a meeting tomorrow. There's a guy who's in town with his own heavyweight. The heavyweight in town, 2 fighters, Robert Alfonso, he's 19-0-1. He's fighting Carlos Negron, who's 20-3. And the guy who is managing him and training him his name is JD's. JD's is the 50% manager and trainer of Deontay Wilder. I'm going out on a limb here and saying that the negotiations and the announcement that Joe Goossen is going to have. He said, and tomorrow he is having a talk. And this is all coming together. And you know why? Because JD said he wants to meet with me before the fights, either at his hotel or in the press room at Barclays.
What does it got to do with Joe Goossen?
Well, because I think he's going to tell me, my guess, strictly my guess, is that they are now going to be working with Joe Goossen as the trainer for Deontay Wilder.
All right, so it's Randy Gordon's guess, but it's an educated guess. He has quite the evidence. And look, it's only a matter of hours before we find out whether or not he was right or wrong, but the Boxing Voice definitely wanted to at least update you on the possibilities. Hence why we went with the rumor mill, even though we had Randy on the show to give us, the gossip straight up from, the horse's mouth. Like, he's putting it together. Hopefully, he can keep us updated. He's en route to the Barclays Center. He will be seeing JD's, the manager trainer of Deontay Wilder. He's absolutely right. We told you that Robert Alfonso will be taking on Carlos Negron on that fight this afternoon. So JD's is definitely in the building. And the possibility of all this, it can be happening. It can happen. And we wanted to follow it to make sure that we're not on the outside looking in on all these juicy headlines. Credit to Randy and Jerry Cooney for a very good interview with Joe Goossen and getting this bit of information out of him. For Goossen, even if it's not right, his profile's definitely raised. I'm pretty sure a couple of 100,000 people are clicking on his name on Google now, trying to figure out who's he worked with. But I believe he's worked with Corrales as well, Rest in peace. I seen a few things with him and Diego Corrales. So, I mean, look, he's been in there with heavyweights, Chris Arreola, I don't know how good or bad of a mesh it would be. I wanted a bigger name, right? I wanted Wilder to capitalize on the possible popularity bump that he could get if you pair up with Floyd, you'll be getting a lot of search clicks. If you pair up with George Foreman, there's going to be a lot of headlines written on you and about that duo. I don't know how many are going to be written on Joe Goossen outside of the surprise factor, right? Like a lot I feel there'll be a lot of people surprised he chose to go with Goossen. But there won't be as many articles written, headlines, podcasts, memes, as if it was the great George Foreman or someone else on that level, a Mayweather. Those are going to bring in the casual fans and definitely garner that casual fan attention. Joe Goossen's more of a hardcore fight fans trainer. You know what I mean? Even Ronnie and Freddie, like, they have more cachet, I don't know. I could be wrong. But let me go out to some of these callers. You know the number to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Don't forget, you can also add Nestor Gibbs on Skype to be part of the conversation from anywhere in the world. Now, you want to download that Skype app. It's absolutely free. You can do that on your Android app market or your iPhone app market. Once you do that, just add Nestor Gibbs, be part of the conversation. One friend request links us forever. So let's go out to our sponsors, and then we'll get to these phone lines. Once again, 1-425-569-5241.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Let's go out to Baltimore, Maryland, and see if our historian Troy can't help us out here. Troy, What do you know of Joe Goossen, and how good of an option is he for a trainer for Deontay Wilder?
He's everything that the guy you spoke to said he was. You know, he started out with Michael Nunn. That was his first big fighter, and he did do the brothers, the Ruelas brothers, and he did great work with them because their footwork was a little off, but he did great work with them. But he's everything that he said he was. He don't play no games. You know, he knows what he's talking about, and he's very firm. He's very firm, and he's not gonna take any shorts from Wilder. But all of that being said, Wilder could bring him God himself. It doesn't matter who he brings in. It all matters, you know, if he's going to listen. Because for what, X amount of years now, he's really, in a sense, really not been listening to anybody. Because Breland, you had a video on your show about Breland saying that he doesn't listen all the time. And to me, Breland would be the perfect one to train him because Breland is 6'2" as a welterweight, tall, skinny, had that big right hand, and did his thing. And I think I heard you mention popularity in clicks, Floyd and Foreman. Let me tell you what, none of that's going to help you in the ring. None of that. I mean, you got 4 months to get you got 4 months, you know, to get your footwork right, you know, your mind right, you know. And then once you step in that ring, you have to wash away everything you've done for 15 years, and you have to install the stuff you've learned in 4 months. That takes a hell of a lot of will. And I don't know if he has that at this point, but we'll find out in 4 or 5 months, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, Troy, Baltimore, Maryland, thank you for calling in. Joe Goossen is from Southern California. He's based out of Southern California, and he trains in Southern California. He, like Troy said, guided the Ruelas brothers, Gabe and Rafael, to world titles. He's also had Frankie Duarte, Dominic Gunn, Segundo Mercado, Edison Miranda, John Molina, Shane Mosley for the second fight with Winky Wright, Michael Nunn, Rocky Pepelli, never heard of him, dates back before me, Alexander not even going to murder that. But let's see, Perderezov, Manuel Caseda, and we already said Gabriel Ruelas and Rafael, Malik Scott, Lance Whitaker, and even Sergey Lipinets. I'm pretty sure I'm missing a few over the years. I think he had the Molina brothers as well, Carlos and Javier, the Olympians. Quite a few people he's had. Let's go out to our ringer in North Carolina. Josh, what's going on, brother?
What's up, Ness? What's going on?
How are you?
Hey, man. Hey, bro, I like this. First of all, you back at it with another one. But yeah, I like this selection by Deontay. Like he was talking about, if he had Florida, Georgia, the headlines and all that, that's just like more distractions in the camp. You know, they went out. That's just like more distractions in the camp. So you know what I'm saying. So yeah, it's good to go with Joe Goossen, and he don't play no games. So you know what I'm saying. I like this pick, man. I do like the selection. Deontay, he unlike a lot of people would think, man, for him to be 35, man, he's still raw, man. To be honest with you, so yeah, he can correct. These are really like Buddy McGirt said, these are minor issues he can correct. So I'm with it, man. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. I'm out, TBV.
All right, North Carolina, Josh, thanks for calling in. We're going to go out to Seattle, Washington.
Mr. PBC, baby. ThaBoxingvoice.com.
I'm the flyest. Canelo talking about he believe he can win. Go to my kitchen. Get the sharpest knife and cut the bullshit out. I don't care what you do good. I do every fucking thing great.
Mr. PBC, baby.
Yo, what's up, Ness?
What up?
Solo Manolo getting it in.
Yes, sir.
For the show, though. I looked up this dude. He's credible. I think he's what we need. He's what Deontay needs. We just need to see what Deontay is going to do for himself and also with this camp. I think the giving up of the sex, he needs to give that up and just mainly stay in California. That would be beautiful. You know, the dude trained with some good people. I mean, can't say he didn't. I mean, anything can happen, man. It's all about what Deontay wants and what he brings. And I think to giving up the sex and leaving Alabama as a training camp and just going over to Cali would be beautiful. So that's my call.
All right, I don't know that Wilder would go to Cali. He does have a house in California, but his camps are very secluded and private, and it just makes more sense to fly Goossen into his camp. You know, yeah, I don't know why not. Jacksonville, Florida. What up?
What's good? This is like staying in your comfort zone. If you say he's associated with Jay Diaz as well. So I'm not sure. To go with Mayweather would have been good because number one in men's that whole
how
riff.
Explain how is this in his comfort zone?
Because you ain't going nowhere outside of what. I mean, is it? You just explained the connection with him and Jay Diaz, right?
What connection?
So it's not.
Did they both at the Barclays Center?
No, well, I thought you said they were associated with it.
No.
But it's not. It's not really anything. It's not anything that's pushing him outside. Like, are you gonna tell me that this Joe Goossen guy is? I don't know too much about Joe Goossen personally. Are you going to tell me that he's going to enforce his will, that he has a big enough personality to make Deontay hear certain things when Mark Breland couldn't? Do you think so?
I mean, listen, this isn't my choice. This is a rumor. This is the commissioner that believes this is what's going to happen. But I don't know. I don't know what if he can I don't know, reach Wilder, if that's the right word.
So, right, that's what I mean. And that's why I said the Floyd it looks good for black unity. If we're talking all that black power stuff, let's do that. And plus it's good for the defense. He needs better defense. His defense is kind of suspect. It's just that it hadn't been tested against elite opponents, and now we've seen it against elite opponents, that he needs some defensive work, he needs some footwork work, and who better than Floyd? What's the problem with that? To me, that would be my pick, honestly.
I mean, I guess the only problem with Floyd is the fact that people say Floyd's never trained anyone, so why go with a dude that isn't a trainer and you only got 4 months to get ready?
Floyd like Mike. You know what I mean? You got to, like, poke at him for his advice to get it. You know what I mean? Floyd like that type of guy. But if he's volunteering it, I'd take that. You know what I mean? I mean, it's the GOAT or arguably the GOAT. Why wouldn't you take that? You know what I mean?
I hear
My
you.
personal opinion.
I hear you. Jacksonville, thanks for calling in. We're going out to Stunner, New Jersey. What up?
Yo, what's good? What's good?
What up?
Yo, so I was doing a little research on Joe Goossen because I ain't going front like I'm, OD familiar with his training methods and whatnot. But one of the things that I was able to really pick out is that I know that a difference between him and I guess Jay Deese is that as far as training, Jay Deese is real heavy on Wilder just sparring and then doing pad work, whereas Joe Goossen, as far as pad work, he's not really big on pad work. He's more on his heavyweights being on the heavy bag. And I feel like for Wilder fighting a big guy like Fury, that it's actually probably be better for him to focus more on the heavy bag than to be throwing pads. But I also just want to say this too. Once we get rid of Fury, all you other 6'3", 6'4" heavyweights, y'all gonna get slept with one shot. Easy. So don't get confidence because y'all seen a 6'9" dude be able to put Wilder in the headlock. Y'all do just midgets with guts. Y'all all getting slept. Yeah, that's my call, man.
All right. Stunner, New Jersey. Thanks for calling in. Remember, if you want to add to the call, you can go ahead and add yourself. Nestor Gibbs. You got to add Nestor Gibbs on Skype to be part of the conversation. You can also call 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 time to voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Don't forget, add Nestor Gibbs on Skype. Let me go out. Let me see. Looking like we got Rap and Combat. What's up?
What's going on? I just got in. I'm just saying what's up. I'll be at the Barclays Center in a few for the fights. So, yeah, that's it.
All right, Rap in Combat. Just updating. He'll be live at the Barclays, so he might get to see Joe Goossen. So once again, this was just a little quick report. Like I said, something floating around on social media, so we decided to get Randy Gordon, the commissioner, one of the duo, part of the duo of the Jerry Cooney and Randy Gordon show, Friday night at the fights. He also is a columnist for FightNights.com. He hosts his own show on Facebook, Randy's Corner. The commissioner is known throughout the sport. I mean, at one time, I think he managed... What fighter did he manage? I don't know, but look it up. Randy's known. Glad he came on the show, gave us some info. Now we will be waiting to see, can Goossen land that big time opportunity? Because damn, if you become the heavyweight champion of the world's or former heavyweight champion of the world's trainer, that's some big headlines. And that's kind of why I said what I said, even though it didn't fly with Troy. I feel like that, the popularity growth should go both ways. I should be getting as much from you as you are getting from me. But maybe that's not the case, and it is what it is. We'll be back with some live fight chats a little later on this afternoon, so don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you click that notification bell, you'll get a notification every time we go live. This is the second show today. Hopefully you didn't miss the first one. If you did, you could catch that right here on youtube.com/ThaBoxingVoice. Also on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, iHeart, Spotify, all that good stuff. Nest GT on Instagram and Twitter. Peace.